Who was your favorite artist on G Unit Records, or who were you the most close to?
Most close in actuality was Young Buck, based on my relationship with him was initial, and he was my introduction. And when I came on, that's where 50 found fit for me to spend most of my time was getting my feet wet on tour with Young Buck. So I spent more time with Young Buck than anybody overall. However, as far as this, Tony Yayo went furthest out his way to make me feel included by holding his album up, his debut album, to and flew me to New York to participate on it. And then Lloyd Banks, in the long run, took the longest time to develop a bond or seemingly bond with me, but he was more proactive in when I wasn't expecting it, reaching out, calling me, telling me he's listening to my music and expressing how impressed he was with it.
So, with you being closest to Buck, what were you thinking at the times when he was having a situation with 50? 50 releases the recorded conversation, and Buck is going back and forth with Game, and all of a sudden he's on his side, then he reunites.
I was recording Buck at the same time and foolishly assuming that my relationship with 50 was going to trump whatever him and Buck had going on. I thought I was locked in. Thought we was fam bam.
What do you mean recording him? You were recording the conversations with him?
Yeah, Buck was on the phone trying to convince me to break camp and run off and diss 50 alongside him. And when 50 was recording him crying, I was also recording Buck requesting that I do so. So I had no loyalty to Buck at that time because the overall allegiance was to G Unit. I have a G Unit tattoo on the back of my hand. So does Buck. He got his after mine from the same tattoo artist. So the commitment to G Unit was equivalent at the time, although his began earlier than mine. So when he was ready to go rogue and jump ship, I wasn't going to be foolish enough to get involved in between him and 50B, but I wasn't just going to jump ship with him just on GP. However, throughout the process of him trying to convince me on a phone call that I should jump ship, it may have been an hour, 45 minutes. He's trying to give me all the appeals he could, and I was being extremely resistant and recording him at the same time. His ace in the hole was to tell me, man, check this out. 50 told me he wasn't going to put your album out a year ago. So while he thought he was dropping a bomb on me and letting me know some secret information and making me privy to 50's intentions for my career, at least for the last 12 months, he wasn't realizing he was also exposing the lack of loyalty he had toward me for the last 12 months when I've been daily in communication with you and you telling me you've been aware of this and didn't make me aware. So that was at the moment when I stopped considering him a friend and classify him as a foe.
Right. And so did you give the conversation to 50 to show him what was being said?
I put it out. It was like an intro. Portions of it was an intro on a mixtape, and I put it out in a similar time frame when 50 put out him crying. What do you call new music? Current or currently in that time. I put my audio out during the same time. So when you remember 50 recording him crying, within the same few months, when This Is 50 was popping, my audio came out as well. It didn't catch as much a wave as his.
What are your thoughts about Buck at this time? Like, your respect level for him has decreased because he's like not showing he's loyal. He's
so many reasons. Like, not even the loyalty. I didn't even allow my judgment to fall upon him based on that because I figured it was based on situations he had with 50 that were outside of my interest, my concern, my understanding. It could be whatever. But he's been so wishy-washy on those issues. On top of the fact he got caught up with Greg, the lover that he denied, and his interest in the rainbow activities. On top of the fact that he was from 9-7 East Coast, claiming my hood, then jumped out to claiming 60s, even though when I met him initially, he was claiming Hoover. There's just a lot of things about his character that's so inconsistent, that lack integrity, that caused me to be someone that does not stand in appreciation of anything I've seen him present.